Good morning, students. Nice to see you again. In this lesson, we're going to be continuing what we learned already last week. We're going to repeat some of the vocab you've heard already, learn some vocab, new vocab, and go through it. So today is about animal adaptations. So what are adaptations? They would be tricks, little tricks that, or big tricks that animals can use so they can survive or keep living in their habitats, which is where they live. Okay, so you'll see some of that vocab repeating again from last week. All right, so what are adaptations? Today's lesson. Okay, they are these tricks that help animals to do different things. What? Well, hide from predators. If you'll remember from last week, predators are animals that could eat you or another animal for food. All right? Next one would be prey. So you have adaptations trick that you can hunt prey. As we remember from last week, prey are animals that are eaten by predators. All right? Adaptations could also help to reproduce. If we remember from last week, what does reproduce mean? That's right, it's to make babies. All right? Reproduction. So here we have a peacock that has part of his body out wanting to attract females. All right, you might also have adaptations for getting food or air or water from your habitat. You could also have adaptations to help with non-living parts of their habitat. I keep saying the word habitat. Do you remember from last week what habitat means? That's right, somewhere where they live. Animals live. So where could animals live? What would be this habitat? That's right, a forest. Okay? So you might need tricks, so maybe you could climb the trees. So you would need adaptations to help with that. Okay? Another habitat might be the mountains. Okay? What's the temperature like in the mountains? Is it hot or cold? It can get pretty cold up there so high up. So animals might need tricks to keep them warm. What's another habitat? We could also have deserts. Now it's the opposite. Now we don't have to worry about cold, but we need to stay cool because it's so hot in the deserts. Okay? All right. There are two basic kinds of adaptations. It could be first, what do you have? That would be what's called a structural adaptation. So structural is an adjective, okay, and talks about something the animal has, okay? So you might look at body parts. For example, I have a knee that helps me to run. I have eyes that help me to see. Those are body parts, those are structural adaptations. Okay? We could also have behavioral adaptations. Behavioral is another adjective, and now you're not talking about something you have, but what something you can do. Okay? So I might use my eyes for seeing. So seeing is a behavior. Swimming might be a behavior. Dancing might be a behavior. Okay? So it comes after the word behavior, which is a noun. Okay? Something you do. Okay? What can the animal do to survive in its habitat? All right? So let's look at examples, okay? We like to learn through examples here. So what's protection? Does anybody remember about protection? That's right, okay? Making sure that you're not hurt or harmed or killed. Okay? So what could you have? Well, your colors are very important. All right, so we're going to learn a new word, camouflage. Okay, that's a noun. Okay, and that means something you have that helps you, a color you have on your body to hide from predators, okay? So when you're hiding from predators, it's something that might come and hurt you, kill you, hunt you, or you might want to hide from something that will kill you. Look at some good examples. So here we have a moth, which is like a butterfly, okay? What do you think? Do you think this camouflage is helping it to hide from predators or to help it hunt? What do you think? Yeah, I think that's pretty good for hiding, okay? The moth doesn't eat any animals, so it's worried about animals that might want to eat it, okay? So it's hiding from predators. It's not hunting here, okay? How about this example? A friendly tiger, that's right, okay? And it has that orange, white, black stripe, which is perfectly helping it to hide or hunt. What do you think? Is it hiding or hunting? That's right, okay? Tigers are top predators. They really don't have to hide from anything, but they are going to spend a lot of time hunting, okay? But what about animals that do both? So we have here an Arctic fox, which lives in Canada. It's the same animal. What, Teacher Tom? Looks so different, but no, it's actually the same animal hiding in the snow during the winter, but during the summer, it loses most of the white color, turning to brown. You have still some white on the chest and tail, but now it's much easier to hide in the background of the dirt or of the forest. Okay? It's the same animal it's changing its fur color from season to season. Is that for hunting or hiding? Well, this is a good example of animals that do both. Okay? It's hiding from what? What do you think it might hide from? Bears, maybe not so much, more probably wolves. Okay? Wolves are much bigger and hunt in big groups and can easily find them and kill them. Okay? But it's also going to be hunting. What do you think it might hunt? Yeah, something small like mice is a good answer. Okay? So it needs to be able to hunt smaller things and hide from bigger things. Okay? Another example would be this little lizard here, right? It might be hiding from birds in the forest. It might be hunting smaller insects or other lizards. All right? All right. So another way to color yourself is to use confusing colors that make it difficult to attack. Okay? Good example here would be our famous zebras. That's right, okay? Zebras, they like to be in big groups. And when you're a lion or hunting them, it's hard to choose which one because you're confused by so many running around at the same time. Okay? So those colors make it more difficult, confusing to attack quickly. Gives them a better chance to run away. All right, you might also show bright colors. Now this is strange. I mean, I thought we had camouflage. We're trying to hide. But these are the opposite. These ones are showing off. Why would they do that? Well, here's a good example. A coral snake. Okay, coral snakes have very bright colors because they're very poisonous and they want to show off that they're poisonous, dangerous, stay away from me. All right, it works really well if you have poison. Another example would be these tree frogs from South America. Okay, bright colors. Why? Exactly, to show off their poison. Okay, but there's something else that's happening here, very interesting here. Remember, what are the two adaptations? What are the two kinds of adaptations? We have the body parts, what an animal has, and what's the other one? What they can do, exactly. So what is it doing? Well, it's standing up. It's saying, haha, look at me. So it uses the way of standing up to show its bright colors so that it's even more visible. So that's a behavior combining with the structure. All right? So we also have shells. We all know about that, right? Turtles, that's right. Okay? And snails, of course. Same thing. They can quickly hide underneath. All right? Last one, spines. What are spines? Okay? Think of it like a rose flower. You don't want to touch it because it's going to hurt you. Well, animals have that too. The famous example would be, what animal is that? Anybody know? Porcupines, correct. Okay, so the porcupines make the lion very nervous. All right. All right, so that's adaptations for protection. Now, what about moving? Well, they have legs, sure, but let's try moving in the air. All right, adaptations for flying. Flying is an adaptation itself, behavior or structure. Anybody know? Yes, that's right. Flying is a behavior. It's something you do, but you need a structure to help. So what do they have? They have structures so that they can help with the behavior. Okay? So what do these guys have? Wings, of course. Everybody knows birds have wings. But let's look deeper. What about the wings? What makes wings able to fly? They have feathers. Okay? Very easy to see here, all the different feathers. Okay? But some things you might not think about, like very strong muscles so it can fly. Here we have a small bird, but it has to fly not only its own weight, but the weight of a mouse up into the air that it's just killed. So it needs very strong muscles, okay? Most birds have very strong muscles in their structure. Another example is hollow bones. Hollow means nothing inside them. Okay, so we have a human bone here. It's filled with material inside of it, including where they make blood. But in an eagle or most other birds, they have some structure, but it's mostly air. It's hollow air inside, which does what? Why would you want nothing inside your bones? That's right, it makes it lighter, okay? Easier to fly. All right, so we looked at the air. Let's go in the water now. All right, how do we move around in water? How do animals move around in water? Okay, now humans can swim. We can kind of swim, but it's we can't swim very fast, not like some animals in the water, like sea turtles who have flippers for swimming. All right, we also have things like webbed feet, like we see in the duck here. You could see the kind of the webbing between the claws of the duck that help it to move the water behind it. Okay? A lot of birds have those, especially penguins, good example, but we also see some mammals that like to swim underwater will also have webbed feet. All right. Another advantage would be having streamlined body. So, what does streamlined mean? It's another adjective. Okay? And what that means is, well, let's look at it first. What do you think it means? All right? You got a bullet up there. Okay? The bullet needs to move through the air very quickly. Okay? Another example might be a bullet train. So what's interesting about them is they have a shape. So what kind of shape is it? It's something a shape that can it needs to be able to move, okay? So move easily through air. These ones are moving through the air, right? But what about this submarine? It needs to be streamlined to move through the water. So through the air or the water, you need to be streamlined. So this includes animals too. What's that? Everyone's favorite animal, the shark, okay? So we see that streamlined body that very smoothly moves through the water like a submarine, okay? So these, again, are structural adaptations. All right, stay in the water, but now we're not looking at moving, but breathing. How to breathe in the water. So what do fish do? They have gills. So gills are these openings in the side of the body where water goes enters through the mouth. So it's like us, we breathe through the mouth, but then the water comes right out again through the gills. And as it does that, it leaves behind oxygen, okay? And the blood picks up the oxygen. All right, so that's what that's what fish do. They really do breathe in the water. But you also have animals that don't really breathe in the water, but they hold their breath in the water, okay? So whales are a good example. They hold their breath, and they do it by sucking in the air through their blowhole, which is a hole on the top of their head, behind the top of their neck. And they suck it in, hold their breath underwater, come out of the water, and then they can breathe it out, okay, without having to lift its mouth all the way up, okay? So that's blowholes. Another one would be special nostrils, the two nostrils that we breathe in through our nose. What's interesting about these nostrils on this seal? What do you think? Does that look like our nostrils? It's the same, right? It's for breathing. But what's interesting here is they're closed, okay? In fact, they close so tight, it can block out the air, so it can hold its breath and not have to worry about water coming in through its nose, like when we're underwater, right? All right, so I've shown you a bunch of things. Now it's your turn. I want you to tell me about some adaptations, okay? We have a video we're gonna show. All right, and this video shows, what does that show? What animal is that? Anybody know? A seal? Close, it's a sea lion, okay? So this is a sea lion in the water, okay? I want you to tell me, what adaptations can you see? See if you can get 4, maybe even 5 adaptations. All right, let's go. What do you see? Anybody see anything? A streamlined body, yes. A streamlined body that moves through the water very easily, very quickly. What else did we talk about that this sea lion has? Anybody? Yes, it has flippers. So these flippers that help to move through the water, okay? So we learned about streamlined body, flippers. What's next? What's next? Tell me about its feet. What does it have? Webbed feet. Yes, it has webbed feet. You can see the webbing there between the feet that helps it to move. Good. All right. What else does it have? Look at the face. Nostrils. Yes, it has those nostrils that can close. Okay, but you've already seen it breathe air up, right? It showed bubbles. So it can actually open underwater, let out the bubbles, and close again. That's really cool. Okay? And the last thing I hope you saw, anybody else? We didn't talk about it, but did you look at the face closely? Anything else? Eyes. You see those big googly eyes that could just open up like that. Yeah. So it helps to see underwater. Very good. All right. So we're finished the presentation. It's your turn. You gave me some answers already. I would like some more answers out of you. I want you to show me. All right, so we need to reach our workbook. Everybody has their workbooks. Open, please, to page number 12. And we're going to do 3 pages, 12, 13, and 14. All right? So let's go through them. 12, it's going to show the animal, okay, salmon, humpback whale, crab, eagle. You have to tell me about the adaptations they have, okay, and we've given you some answers, and tell me the function. Function means what does it do? Why does it have that adaptation? So animal, what adaptation, and what does the adaptation do? All right, and the last one there is, tell me of a behavioral adaptation, because these are all what kind of adaptations? They're all structural adaptations. So I want you to give me one behavioral adaptation. Show me that you can do both, okay? Any one from any animal, okay? All right. The second page, page 13, we have the same thing, except now we have one more column. You have the animal, the adaptation, the function, same as last one. But now you need to tell me, is it a structural or a behavioral adaptation? Okay, that's page 13. And then the last one be page 14, where you need to tell me about some, back to the first page, similar, right? Animal, like the peacock, zebra, the Arctic fox. What adaptation does it have? And what function? What is the reason it has the adaptation? All right, so that's our plan for the rest of the class. I'll come around and help you out, okay? And answer any questions. Thank you.